Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brothers and sisters, today we want to take our time to talk about knowledge. You know, if you look at our generation, it looks like everybody is busy looking for one thing. We will talk about money. But with knowledge, you don't only get the money, but you get the upliftment. Allah will uplift you to a height you yourself will never believe you get to. That if you are quiet according to the way, the sunnah, right? You know, Allah did not begin Islam with prayer. Knowledge was our first command. So why are we lagging behind as Muslims? Allah never began Islam with pray, fast, or fight. The first word revealed from the heavens was IQRA, read. So how did the Ummah of read become an Ummah that avoids learning? You know, the Prophet ﷺ was not a learned prophet, right? He didn't read, he didn't write. But the first command that came was for him to read. Ikra, read. Quran chapter 96, 1 to 5. Allah said, read in the name of your Lord who created man from a cloth. Read, and your Lord is the most generous. Read, and your Lord is the most generous. Who taught man what he did not know? You see, Allah mentions knowledge twice before mentioning worship. He connects reading, teaching, and a pen. Islam started with learning, not ignorance. Islam started with learning, not ignorance. If Allah opened Islam with knowledge, how can Muslims close their lives to learning? We prefer to sit at the basis of attire, drinking attire from maybe 6 to maybe 12 or 1 p.m. While some of them 1 a.m. Some of them are even married men. We have closed our mind when it comes to learning. But Islam begins with knowledge. Knowledge is what raises people and nations. Knowledge is what Allah is going to use you to raise you and our nation. So if you want the Ummah or the nation of Islam to grow, then we need to seriously invest in learning. Not only our children, we the adults, because we are all students of knowledge. We are all learning. We are learning from the scholars. We are learning from the teachers and the students of knowledge as well. Allah said in Quran chapter 58 verse 11, Allah will raise those who believe among you and those who were given knowledge by degrees. You see how knowledge elevates? Not all believers are equal. Not all believers are equal. Everything is about the degree Allah himself chose to put you. Knowledge elevates individuals, families, society, and the nation. Let's ask, if knowledge raises ranks, what does ignorance do? If knowledge raises ranks, what does ignorance do? Me and you, we can relate to that, right? If you have knowledge, Allah will elevate you. So if you have ignorance, what will happen to you? You know, the best of Ummah, Allah said we are the best of the Ummah. But it comes with responsibility. You are the best. Allah said in Quran chapter 3 verses 1. You are the best nation produced for mankind. It's because of understanding right and wrong, acting upon it, teaching others. An ignorant Ummah cannot guide humanity. We cannot sit at the bases. We have different kind of base in our zongos and everywhere. Everywhere you see Muslims, sometimes you see a base there. How can we guide the Ummah with those kind of base? Maja, this is Hassan. Allah said, seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. Seeking knowledge on every Muslim, not optional, not for scholars only. Every Muslim must know his religion, his trade, his responsibility in society. This is basic knowledge. You have to be able to know your religion, the basics, at least, your trade, and your responsibility in the society. What do you also have to contribute to the Ummah for it to grow? We all need to contribute. The strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than the weak believer. The Prophet told us that, right? This hadith is a Muslim. The strong believer is better and more beloved to Allah than a weak believer. So how can an ignorant person be liked or loved than person with knowledge? It's not possible. It is not possible. Strength includes what? Knowledge, skills, planning, or capabilities. All of these are part of what? Strength. Weakness in education, economy, and skills is not piety. It is negligence. The weakness in the Muslim Ummah today, in our education, our economy, look at us. Look at every nation, look at us, we Muslims. And skills that we acquire, this is not piety. We have neglected everything. But the first command that came was read. Scholars like Imam Al-Ghazali, rahimahullah, he said, ignorance is the root of every misguidance. Because somebody can be sitting at the base saying something that you think he knows what he's saying, or your friend or your brother or who. If the base is not from the Quran and the Hadith and some of the authentic hadith and then the scholars, please ignore what he say. If you're not careful, you soak what you are not supposed to soak. Because corruption, oppression, betrayal, poverty cycles, all are part of misguidance. Because if you are guided, you'll not be bothered about so many things like that. You'll be rather be bothered about things that is going to elevate your life and change the way you are. You understand? Because Allah himself said what? He doesn't change people until they change what is themselves, right? Your condition will not change. So how can you be able to be elevated when you don't put anything inside you? How can it be changed? Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah said what? People fall into sin either due to desire or ignorance. And ignorance is more dangerous. You see? Either your desire or your ignorance is what connects you to your sin. That's what Ibn Taymiyyah said, rahimahullah. It can connect you today to fraud, exploitation, poor leadership, blind following. You are following scholars, you are following people blindly. All comes of what? Desire and ignorance. But if you have knowledge, you will be careful in dealing your dealings, your business. How are you going to do fraud? You know, you will do it with what? Ignorance. You not do it with what? With knowledge. And those who follow their own whims or desire, Allah himself also told them that they have taken their own desire as their God. Because some of them, they know. But he has chosen that one because that is what is going to feed him today. Imam Malik rahimahullah said, knowledge is not memorization, but light that Allah places in the heart. It's not only memorizing the things you are reading on the Quran. No, it's the light that comes from what you are learning. So we have to purify our intention. Allah said that light does not come to the lazy heart. No, meaning, how can you be able to say you stand up and then go to the attire bees and be there, and you are expecting the light of knowledge to come to your heart? It's not possible, because most of the things that are going to be spoken there, most of them are going to come from ignorance. We read Quran but avoid the understanding of the Quran. We quote Islam but ignore discipline. You see, we pray but don't plan. We ask Allah for success but don't run from learning. Today's life is supposed to be short, but like I said, we don't have to read the Quran in and avoid the understanding of the Quran. We don't have to quote Islam and ignore discipline. Islam is supposed to make you become disciplined. Your life is supposed to be reflecting. You don't have to do dawah only by your mouth. Do dawah by your character and the way you do your actions and the way you live, your deeds. You're supposed to be doing dawah in your community and your society. When they ask about you, how do people know you? No, how do people know you? So we need to take knowledge very, very important. Our first command was read. So we need to be reading. We need to look for a lot of knowledge. So today, we can be able to have a very good standing when it comes to our societies, when it comes to the nation. Since when did we start having a lot of ministers or maybe MPs, Muslims? Since when? I didn't say have one, a lot of them. Since when were we being in bigger or the front positions in this country? Allah said, read. Allah told us to read. You know, we pray to Allah that revive our love for knowledge, Ya Allah. Revive our love for knowledge, Ya Allah. Remove ignorance from our hearts. Teach us what benefits us and make us a source of guidance, not confusion. You know, if you are a Muslim, learn your deen properly. Let us end today with what? If you are a Muslim, learn your deen properly. Learn a skill. If you finish one skill, learn another. Have many skills as you can. Have many skills as you can, because a lot of them are going to benefit you where you'll be stuck. Read daily. You have to read daily. Read your Quran. Read an hadith a day. Read some of the scholars, their writings. You know, ask questions. How can a Muslim do not learn, do not have a friend of a malam or a scholar, and do not also listen to sermons we call wazi? We don't listen. How can you be a Muslim, you don't learn? You don't have a friend of a malam. You don't have any number that when you don't know something, you can call and ask. Neither do you also listen. But you know all the bees in our Zungus. You know all the bees in Nima, Mamobi, Shukura, Zungu. You know all the bees there. That you don't know any malam, or you don't have any malam's number. You know, that's shame on you. We have to stop glorifying ignorance. We've been doing something for so long. We have to change the way we do things. We have to stop glorifying ignorance. We have to start glorifying knowledge. We have to teach knowledge. We have to let people know we can only be guided by knowledge. You know, share this life. Someone's awakening may start tonight after listening to what I've said. Not by me, by Allah. Not by me, by Allah. We can be able to say our own, but only Allah guides. So may Allah guide us. Where we didn't say, may Allah forgive us. Where we say, may Allah take it to account for us. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك ونشهد أن نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This was Lim Reflections.